to Zoe Home Inspired Living. My name is Rina. I'm a chemical engineer by profession and put up my own cosmetic active ingredients company when I was 30 years old. I was very successful in my field, but an illness put an end to my career. Now in my new normal, I stay at home and tend our family while I also decorate, do table settings, I paint, I sew, I garden, and bake for tea time. I pray you will be inspired by your visit. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Zoe Home Inspired Living. If you're new here, my name is Rina. This is finally the day of the launching of my Zoe Home Table Linen Collection, finally, because I have been working day and night for weeks on end. I think I started in late February and just finished recently. And first of all, I'm going to show you how I started. I'm in our guest room, which I turned into my fabrics stock room. Look at my stash of fabrics. There. And then here, the top. There. And then there's this pile here. These are duvet covers and also duvet covers for my online store that I haven't uploaded yet. And there's also curtains from England, which I'm going to repurpose for my table linens. And then there's this pile here. And underneath there's a there's a mega box, they call it. And then there's this hamper here, rattan hamper, full of fabrics and unfinished projects for beddings. And then there's that also. And actually, this is not all because I have new orders coming. Fabrics for my new table linen collection. So I'm so excited for that. Now I am here because I'm going to bring out the fabrics which I'm going to make into table linens like placemats, table runners, tablecloths, and table napkins for my new Zoe Home Table Linen collection. It's a very special project that I'm so excited about. This fabric, I have sold a lot of my tablecloths out of this fabric and they're still remaining. So I think that this will be lovely for maybe a table runner this time. Table runner and placemats. Yes, one I think will be good for placemats. Maybe one set of a of a 6-seater dining table. So a set of 6 for this because it's a thick jacquard and I just love the print also. It's textured. And this one I want to make into a round tablecloth with ruffles at the bottom, and I want it to be for 6-seater dining table. These two fabrics, this is cotton linen, while this is also premium woven cotton. And I plan to make this into a tablecloth And then this one will be a set of table napkins. So they match perfectly together. And these are curtains, which we have already removed the seams. And I think that I can make placemats out of these curtains. I hope I will be able to make set of 6 which are reversible, because this is very thick. This is a cotton lace trimming. It's an eyelet, and I bought this to embellish a table napkin, perhaps just what I did with the other one. Yes, I used lace for that one, and this one as well. I plan to use it into trimming table napkins. These are the fabrics that I separated to sew for my table linen collection, and I'm hoping to be able to finish all of them probably in a month's time or less than 2 months, I hope. So what I'm going to do now is to start cutting. This is a valance with embroidery scattered at the bottom, and it's also scalloped here at the bottom. So this came from my haul that came from the UK, together with other English curtains, and this is in cotton. So what I plan to do with this for my table linen collection is to make these tea towels. So I think that if I divide them in the middle for each of the embroidery accent, each tea towel will have an embroidery of flowers. So I have already cut the valance and made them into this tea towel size, like that. And then I'm just going to stitch it here, and then on the other side, and that on the top as well. Now, to keep myself motivated, I am grouping my fabrics into shades, similar shades. So because I have started with this embroidered tea towels, I'm also going to make this into tea towels. It's just a one panel of curtain, and then the same shade of green, it flows into this. So my next projects will be this shades, and then it will gently segue into the pinks. So that's what I'm going to do to complete first this shade of green. This is such a lovely design or pattern. It's a curtain, and I have 2 panels of this, and it's quite thick. The fabric is quite thick, so I think that it won't be suited for table napkins. I really want to turn them, the 2 panels, into tablecloths. Just so infatuated with this design. I believe these are apple blossoms, and I have painted them before. So I really want to turn this curtain into a tablecloth. Let's see. This is a perfect shade of sage green, but here in the video it's not. It's like silver, but it's a sage green, and it's a full size flat sheet from Sonoma. I think it's in excellent shape, and I think it's unused. So even this one, I'm going to repurpose into a table linen. Probably I'm going to get a dozen two sets of 6 pieces, each set of table napkins. And then the rest, I'm going to make into pillowcases because the green is just so lovely. This is a very thick cotton curtain which I want to turn into placemats, at least set of 6 placemats. And to save on the fabric, because I just like this so much, look at the bird. The other side will be this green. This is forest green, and it's also premium woven cotton. So the front side will be this, and then the back side will be this, and it will still be reversible if you want it to be plain on the other side, to use the plain side. So that's what I'm going to do. So these are the pieces for the placemats that I'm going to sew, and this is one side, and this is the other side, which is in plain green. Now what I plan to do is to stitch on top, so the wrong sides together, and then fold this like here, fold this like that, and then fold this as well, just like what I did with the Japanese table runner, if you have watched that. All right, and then sew it outside here at the edge. So I used a natural color thread on top and a very dark green at the bottom. That's the bobbin thread, because I just love the shade of this sage green fabric. It's a Sonoma blanket that I cut. I want to make a set of table napkins with ruffles because I just want the frills. I want a frilly table napkin. So I'm going to use my gathering foot. Yeah, it's my first time to try it. It can't be seen there. It's on the other side in. So this is the product of the gathering foot that I used for the very first time. Oops, that's the one there. And it's, yeah, it makes gathering stitches a lot easier and of course faster, and also the shearing is uniform. Now I'm going to attach these ruffles onto the table napkin. So this is the table napkin. It's 16.5 by 16.5 in inches. So this is about 2.5 to 3 inches. And I'm going to start at the middle here and missing at least an inch. Yeah, so that later on I can attach to the other end. Now I have reached the other end. So what I'm going to do is to leave out an extra fabric later on. Now there is an excess piece of ruffles here. I'm going to cut it here, and then they are going to be stitched together like that. Now the excess ruffles, I'm going to use them all in a different project. And then I'm going to do a French seam. So that's the first step, and then we are going to stitch it here to cover that up. So now they are joined together like that. Now the final step is to stitch this gap here. So this is the gap, and we are going to stitch that close. What we are going to do next will be to clean this up, the raw edges, and then zigzag stitch all around to protect the fabric. I did an overstitch so that the ruffles will stay flat like that. This was very tedious to make, but I really wanted to make table napkins this way, really frilly like this. This is from a large panel of curtain. There's only one, but I was able to get a piece for a 6-seater tablecloth, this one, and the remaining, which I cut from the side of the curtain panel. So this is for the tablecloth. Look at the design. It's a brocade. And look, I just love the design. It's textured. And then I was able to trim off the side of it so that it will be a rectangular tablecloth for 6-seaters. And then this is the side that I was able to cut. And this is the wrong side, which I also like. This is the wrong side, which is in blue and beige background. Now, because there's only one whole length of it for 6-seater table, dining table, I also cut this one, which we have a stash of linings from English curtains that we get from the UK. And this is very thick. So I'm going to line this table runner at the back using this one. These are panels of curtains, and they came from the United Kingdom, and it's very thick. All right, I just love the design of these curtains. I had 3 pieces of this. I think it's very narrow like this, so I turned them into placemats. And so I measured because I wanted to get the blue parts, the blue flowers. So I measured from here for the standard size of rectangular placemat. So I cut here. And these are the placemats that I have made. They are reversible, and I used 2 panels of this narrow curtain here. But I still have this wider panels, and they will be turned into tablecloths. I think the size will be good enough for 6 to 8 seater dining table. So look at that design. It's just so lovely. And usually they have names, and you can see them here on the side. This is the name of the pattern. It's Ming Garden. The name of this design is Ming Garden. It's there. That one. Ming Garden. So, wow, I just love it because these are peonies and there are gold accents around the petals. So I have 2 of these wider panels, and I'm going to turn them into tablecloths. Now I have this, again, curtain panels, and they are quite thick, very thick. Again, from my haul, UK haul of curtains. This pattern is actually Rustic Beauty by Laura Ashley. So, over the years, I have repurposed Laura Ashley curtains into tablecloths, and also throw pillowcases or pillowcases, bed pillows. So this one, because it's not too big, I have 2 panels of this, but it's not too big. So I think this will only be for tea towels and table napkins. This is a new fabric, virgin fabric, and it's cotton linen. It's very ideal for table napkins. So I am still in the green, shades of green table linens, and then we will slowly segue into beige and pinks perhaps. So right now, I think this will be a very perfect combination. Now, I still have a piece of that Laura Ashley fabric. It's called Rustic Beauty. So I didn't want to throw it away. So I cut them into these pieces and attach them into this linen fabric. It's a virgin fabric. I'm going to turn it into tea towels. So I have 2. This is the other one. And I have already started this. Okay, so what I did here is a French seam, and then I understitch it here. I understitch it here so that it will lay flat like this on the other side. And then on the right side, this is how clean it is, the seam. So I am now cutting a fabric for a round table. So this will be a round tablecloth. Good thing I have yards and yards of this beautiful fabric. It's premium woven cotton, and the width is 62 inches. 62 inches. So this will be for the center. Now, because I am cutting for a 6-seater dining table, I'm going to add here and there 20 inches width, 20 inches width here to make 100 inches total width. So it should also be 100 inches here. And then that is already a square with 2 additions on either side. Now, after that, I'm going to make it into a round shape. So this will be cut into 40 inches and then divide by 20 to be added to the center. So that's what we're going to do next. These are strips of fabric that I cut from the linings of the English curtains. Those linings, such as this one, are really very thick. So they're not flimsy. I'm going to use this for the ruffles for my round tablecloth. Look at this. That one. So later on, I'm going to use my gathering foot for the ruffles, and I cut this into 7-inch width with the seam allowances on either side. So what I plan to do is to attach the extensions on either side of the center piece of this one, and then after I have attached them all together, so there will be 3 pieces in all, the center and the extensions on either side, then I will cut into round shape. I think that way it will be easier to cut into round. So what I'm going to do is to stitch using the French seam. So this is the one. This is the side. Look, it's very clean. So here it's very clean, no fraying edges or raw edges, and that one as well. But we are going to stitch it here to put this flap it's like a flap in place. So we are going to stitch it here to make this flat. So this is the finished product of that French seam. It stays in place, it's flat like that. So on the right side, we are going to cut this a very big piece of fabric into round shape. We already made the markings there. Now we are going to cut. This is a narrow curtain panel. Look how narrow it is, but I just love the pattern. There is a pattern name for this, but I just forgot, and there are 2 panels. So because it's too narrow, I can't turn it into a tablecloth, but this will be perfect for placemats. And I'm just going to divide this into 2 lengthwise, and then again into 2 to make 4 pieces, and then divide it in the middle so that I will be able to make 8 pieces for this. And I'm not going to make it reversible using the same fabric, but I have here a lot of these are also curtain linings which we keep. The placemats will be lined with such linings because these linings are pure cotton and they are very thick. This is a fabric I've had for more than a year now, and there was a lot of yardage that I got back in late 2021, I believe, when we just moved here in the new house. I cut and sewed a lot of tablecloths out of this fabric, and I only have this remaining, so I was able to cut a set of 6 pieces for the table napkins. This is 19 by 19 to be sewn into 18 by 18. And then I'm also going to make 2 sets of 4 of placemats, because this is just so beautiful. I just love it. And to save on fabric, I'm not going to make it reversible. It's just this front, and then I'm going to use this for the back. Again, this is a very thick cotton fabric, which I got from the linings of English curtains that we repurpose. So one of the exciting things that I am sewing is tea towel. And a tea towel measures 14 by 18. And like this one, it's in sage green because I still have leftover fabric. And these ones are ruffles from the table napkins that I made previously. And because I don't want anything go to waste, so I'm going to make a tea towel with ruffles like this one. So what I'm going to do now is to attach this here. It will be right sides together, just like when you put ruffles on a skirt or a throw pillow case. And then I'm going to sew it here up to the other end, and then open it like that. And later on, I'm going to over stitch it so that it will lay flat, and also to close this up with zigzag stitch. So that's what we are going to do now. And because this will be on one end, it should be stitched closed. This is how it looks now. And then after I have closed this up with a zigzag stitch to stop the fraying, I'm going to over stitch it here so that it will lay flat. Look, it's so clean like that. So this is a tea towel with ruffles. Yeah. This is the morning of the end of March, and this is how my sewing nook looks like. This has been decluttered actually, because there used to be piles and piles of fabrics and curtains that I'm working on. And Yeah, I have been really very busy sewing for my table linen collection coming up. I hope maybe 2 weeks more, because as you can see that rattan hamper over there, those are the finished products that I have sewn. Yes, and then there are more and more and more. And yeah, it is very taxing to my body, especially my back, because of my illness. But yeah, I am driven. So that's the situation right now. This is a hamper that I used in the bathroom, but here I used it to stuff my linen collection. Yeah, it's really pressed down, so it's really packed tight. And there's still a lot of fabrics, both virgin and curtains, English curtains for repurposing, but I'm stopping here. There should be an end to my sewing of table linens, because there are other projects around the house that I need to start as well. So I'm stopping here, and now we are going to prepare for the photo shoot of this table linen collection.